Italian people like black people. I've always heard that. Parisian, because they know what it is. They right there. They right there. They know exactly what it is. Italian soul food, you know you're gonna be asleep after you eat. They know exactly what it is, and what it's hitting for, and what it gives. So it's not surprising to me. You just got to find me. I'm surprised I don't have my own, is what's surprising to me. Lamar Odom? Lamar Odam? I done got up. Yo, I'm drinking. I got to drink Poland Springs water because my favorite water from Walmart, which is the was it Crystal Geyser? What's the name on it? What's the name on it? Yeah, it is Crystal Geyser. I love that. But they out of that. So I got to drink this Poland Springs water. If y'all know water, y'all know Poland Springs is trash. Y'all know Poland Springs is trash. But here we are. Is this dying too? Don't tell him. Okay. He dumped Taj. Who's Taj? That light skinned girl? I didn't think he was with anybody. I didn't think he was with anybody. He ain't getting back with Chloe's ass. Just water. I don't know. Immediately you could tell the difference. It's not as bad as I was expecting it to be. But it ain't from the geyser. It ain't from the... Let me turn the light on. Let me set the mood. Let me set the mood. I should. Speaking of mood. Let me find them. Oh, girl, that's old. Stace, that's old. But yeah, Taraji, whatever they dated, whatever they did, left her for Chloe. But that's the thing, it's like, you look at it, Taraji, whatever they gonna do, Taraji just finding her the right movie, and she's gonna Viola Davis this whole thing and everything like that. But she's got the hair care and stuff like that. She was on more of a path that would not have flourished the way that it did had she been tied to Lamar. Because they both needed to succeed in their own way. She needed to go down this baby boy path, and he needed to do what he did in sports. And then him coming out of that, and then being on drugs and all these things, lends itself better to Khloe Kardashian, who is not tied to anything, and she's of a Kardashian, so anything could be manipulated. And with the Kardashian, the story turns to tend in their favor. So we get that feeling sorry for Chloe, and some people even feel more passionately about Lamar because he was there for Chloe, who we always felt sorry about. You know what I mean? So that sort of thing. That story, I feel like everybody always they all have a story line. And whether Lamar and Taraji just hooked up one night, I don't think it was a big thing like, oh, we just that was gonna be my man. No, probably not. Probably not. Because he wasn't settling down for you. He ain't settling down for nobody. Been philandering and fooling around all the while. Does he have a record company though? Over Black China's case, which takes me to okay. So, how did I even get on Lamar? just trying to tie things together. And Lord, when they come back to where they need to come back to, I just feel like I'm missing a couple pieces. But was looking up, why did I even get on Lamar? Oh, Corey Gamble. Obviously. Trying to figure out who Corey know, how Corey know the people, and how long he know them, right? And I just got into Lamar Odom and having had lost his friend Jamie. You remember when his friend Jamie died? Let me find my page. Where is my page? I was trying to write some shit on Oprah and I forgot where I had my information at. And that's June. I'll be having my scripts and my information. Where is that Corey Campbell page at? I feel like it's in the front. Poor Kim Porter. Ladies love Kim. Where is Corey? What did I say? Maybe I should have seen me flipping through my notebooks yesterday trying to find. I said, I know I wrote this thing on Oprah. Can't find it nowhere. I feel like somebody done broke in my house, like my niece said. Broke in. Corey done broke in and took his sheet on I had on him. Oh, it's actually, I think it's in this one. Never mind. Let me not get nobody trying to get called up the authorities on somebody who ain't even been here. Where is it at? I think I'm getting close. Here we go, right here. Here we go, right here. Now, his friend Jamie died on my birthday back in 2015. 2015 is of a drug overdose. He had died of some type of flesh-eating bacteria that you get from intravenous drug use. He died on my birthday in 2015. 2015 is the same year Wendy took her son down to Honduras to get cared for. Now, 6 days after Jamie died. Y'all remember Jamie when he was on the Chloe and Lamar show? 6 days after that, another friend of Lamar's died, drug overdose. His name was Bobby Howard. He was 30 years old. Is that 30? He was 38. Jamie was 37. Drug overdose as well. His autopsy was 3 days later. And y'all know how I feel about autopsies because we had to wait 3 months to get Kevin's. We got Bobby's in 3 days. We got Ivana's in 2 days, and we got it in about 47 hours. And then I was looking at something about Lamar having a record company, which is music, and then that's Scooter Braun, and Scooter Braun is Corey Gamble. And then there's Tim Witherspoon too. So there's just so many. There are the things. Okay, what are y'all saying? I was running my mouth. Janie Smith owns Just Water. Is that right? Oh, the Black China case. That takes me back. I got distracted. I got sidelined with the Lamar thing. But do you remember when Wendy Williams? There's so many. It's just there's a whole part too. And I gotta write it down and I'll figure out how I want to say it. But she was out in California, lunch with Chris and Kim. Lunch with Chris and Kim. Then she came back. Oh, I'm so for Angela. Oh, they calling her Angela. Black China. Angela this and Tokyo that and Angela this, and they just had this relationship and everything was that. You know what I mean? So like, what was that? I was always confused to that, and I always said that okay, she went out there and she just learned what she didn't learn nothing. She didn't go out to sit with Kris Jenner and not come back and fight for ownership in her brand. That's not what she did. So what did she go out there and do? She didn't go out there. When did she go out there? When did Wendy Williams and Kris Jenner get together? This was in 2019. Her marriage was already over. The baby was already born. Did somebody choke? Well, that wrong pipe will take you out. What did she do out there? For her to have gone through the process when she had Kim and Courtney on there, when you don't put a bumper sticker on a Bentley, iconic moment. I'll never forget that. Then this whole thing of them not ever going on the show again, and then you go out there to be with them, and then come back on the side of with this great relationship with Blac Chyna. And Tokyo Tony says something about screwing you. Some things I just don't know. Corey, by the time he was up in Calabasas, he was already up in everything. And that's the thing too. Same way people talking about Wendy, this is her karma, like they just don't understand the thing. Corey, they say about Corey, he's just a purse carrier. What the fuck makes you think somebody who is so meticulously organized and controlling and focused, like Kris Jenner, is just gonna let some purse carrier, black at that, up in her family? Not just her. She don't screw him and leave him at the house, and no. She take him on the vacations with the people. He's involved in this and that and things. And that's how we get to discredit Wendy so much that we forget her legacy. Discredit Corey Gamble so much that we can dismiss the fact that he's out here liaising, lobbying. He has a business degree from Morehouse. Is there even gonna let me bring her on? Princess pursues. Are y'all gonna tell me, or do I gotta look it up? Killed by Robert Blake. Hope Kris don't shoot him. Robert Blake. Who is Robert Blake? I don't think that's the same person. Let me see. No, I don't know. Let me tell you something about writing things down. You can go back to it. You can go back to it. I don't know which notebook it's in, but I could go. Maybe, and I might be wrong. But Bonnie Baker. No, I think you might have said that. What's that lady's name? I don't even know. How do you organize a notebook that's all over the place? Actually, I thought about getting a binder and getting some reinforcements. So take it back to high school. Shit, junior high. Had to get your reinforcements. Ugh. Scan this shit and put it in a damn MacBook Pro. Y'all support the page so I can get me a MacBook Pro. That'll probably be the last thing I get, but support the page anyway. What am I gonna eat? I know I had. I feel like I had. Maybe it might be in here. Back up in here. Donda. Donda. I don't think it's in this. I don't think it's in this one. It's right here. The other page. And her name's Tara Reid. Robert Durst. Not Robert Blake, Robert Durst. Never mind. All of that for that. I just wanted to be sure. Now let me look up this person. I don't know that person. Which I said. Bonnie Bakley. Bonnie Disick. How about that? Does that, I mean, that's, things like that make me like, because of all the names in the world, this Bonnie Bakley, you said remind you of Corey. Scott Disick's mother name is Bonnie, and when I put in Bonnie, that's the person that comes up. Bonnie Lee Bakley was the second wife of actor Robert Blake. So wouldn't her name be Bonnie Lee Blake? Who was her 10th husband. Oh, I remember this. She was fatally shot outside the car, outside the house, or outside a Los Angeles area restaurant. When you shot outside of a restaurant, don't nobody care? She's a Gemini. She was a Gemini too. And she died a month before her birthday. Well, Corey just been involved with two women, Chris and Sheree, as far as we know. And that's the thing. Chris will have him done, but that's the, like he's there. He provides too much. You know, on the yachts with the Hilfigers and the things like that. Like he just is involved. He's heavily involved. And at this point, at this level now, they've been together since 2014. It's going on 10 years they've been together. He ain't going no. It's not. You know, it's not happening that way. Michelle Garrison, 52. Welcome. Hello, welcome. Happy to have you. Join in the conversation if you're still here. No, she could. It'd be a huge trial for ratings and found not guilty. Definitely found not guilty. But that's the thing. Chris wouldn't shoot him. She'd have somebody else shoot him. They wouldn't even tie it. He'd be killed. It's gonna look like an accident, like something from like Kevin Gates. Not Kevin Gates. Lord willing, not Lord willing. God forbid, they say. But like Kevin Samuels. No, not Sheree Whitfield. Sheree, her name is Sheree Buchanan. Hey, Neek. What's up, love? Sheree Buchanan. But yeah, that's funny. Both about Bonnie's, you know, Scott's mother dead. Both Scott's parents is dead. Kanye's mother is dead. His father don't be around. He's not a worry for the Kardashians. Lamar's mother was dead. His father, you hushed that man up with a 20 piece and an 8-ball. I think Chris Humphries had family though, and that's why Kim wanted to you know, every as I thought, every sports person she dated only made her more attractive to people that are interested in sports, you know. So that's how she ended up running for president and winning. But so whether she knew she wasn't going to be with Chris long, And it was strictly something just to bide her time. But the time that she put in, with Reggie Bush is really significant to, her likability and the ability for people to tolerate her, because she can't be this bad. She dated Reggie Bush, you know what I mean, or Kanye, whatever the case may be. And of course, people draw their own conclusions. But what I gather from these comments in my videos that I put out, people be lost in the sauce and are easily moved. And there's no shade. I'm not apologizing, but it's no shade. But that's those are people's perceptions. They were so cute together. Kim before all these things, and Reggie just been fine. Okay, girl, Brand. I get on and I don't share it to nobody, and I need to. Brand, I'm not going to 2 hours, 2.5 hours, Brand. The Lord said this was your time, so that's just what we got to go with. Somebody say to them, well, who was he out? Now, what are these businesses for? And that's what I said. Lamar Odom got this. Did he got a record company? Let me look that up. And then I'm going to get into what you said. Chris got a franchise businesses. But who threw? And I could be wrong. But who threw? Lamar Odom. He's 43. He born. They just said born in 1979. Don't nobody know when Lamar was born? Lamar looked like he could be about 50. So 43, I don't know, might be a little young. Oh, November. His birthday, November 6th. So many things happen in November. So many things. Corey's birthday is in November. Kanye's mother died in November. Portia just got married in November. Wendy said her mother died many, many, many weeks ago. She said that in early December, like December 3rd, I think that number came out. So she either died early November or late October, end of November. And Lamar, for all intents and purposes, Reggie Bush too, very decorated art. And I think Chris Humphries had a couple accolades on him too. I'm not supposed to be on here doing this with y'all. In 2019, Lamar Odom says he regrets not listening to Jay-Z's advice on starting a record label. I'm not getting into this with y'all. This is for the subscriber stuff. Chadwick Boseman's birthday in November, huh? November 29th. November 29th, 1976. November. Hey, Hattie, thank you, baby. Hattie. So, it's always an ad. November is a rapid time, and I think that's when you get into stars and long-standing. What's longer than a century? Eons old worldly ways, conditioning, like those things still stand. People still keep that energy alive because they are tools used to guarantee success in whatever. Not just money, not just, fame and things like that. It's like the success of what the bottom line is, you know, individual control or companies' ability to control, manipulate, or whatever. All keeps us in line. It all keeps us in line. What was he doing, Natasha, on the TV? We saw it 3 times. I saw Dr. Umar saying it's something about. I didn't watch it. I didn't go to watch Black Panther to see it to see black people beat up by Mexicans. And then somebody else said, why did none of the Avengers come to T'Challa's funeral? And I just, you know, just give me a black movie that's not. Oh, good for him. Finally. Give me a black movie that don't have so much political mess. Like, it's just like, I just want it to be either an authentic black experience, like B-Boy Blues, an authentic black experience, or it's just a well-written program with good acting, and there's no cultural indicators or exploitatives. I'm just so sick of it. You know, a movie I watched the other day was absolutely fabulous. It's exactly the type of movie I love. First of all, when I talk about a movie that's just really good, I don't know, it's not the only movie like that. It probably wasn't the first time I've seen a movie like that, but I always say the kids are all right. Yaya's in it. I think Yaya is the only black person in the movie, but it's just a good movie of like a new normal type of experience. Will Smith. A new type of experience with like same-sex parenting and stuff like that. It was just a good movie. Julianne Moore and whatever. Just a Mark Ruffalo. Good movie. I just watched Jennifer Lawrence. I do enjoy Jennifer Lawrence. Her movie called Gateway Highway Breezeway Causeway. Let me get it right so y'all can watch it. Jennifer Lawrence. J-Law, who loves a Kardashian situation herself too. Like Kanye said, people be lined up for us to take us all in. Don't Look Up. I think I need to rewatch that too. The movie's called Causeway. So good. Just a good story of a veteran who's gone through some things down in the bayou. And it's not a love story, and it's not a fix your family story. It's just the story of somebody's life and how things happen. Absolutely love it. Love a good movie like that. She is pregnant still. Now Mike Hill was commentating. Oh, nice. Natasha, see, now you get to throwing a wrench on there. I'm like, Mike Hill, nice. Now I see who Mike Hill is. Like, but I left out saying that, you know, Reggie is in a relationship with a woman that is Kim's doppelganger. Their kids look just like her and Kanye's kids. Like, Reggie, don't lose your shit because you lost someone. Because, like I said, same thing with Kanye. Love Kim. I mean, aesthetically, she is. And I think Kim's she is a lawyer. You know what I mean? She's no beautiful mind. But I think, you like somebody for being who they are, how they are comfortable, and, just being secure in themselves. That's Kim. And, black like that, and you get the light-skinned girl, that sort of thing, all those things. He loved the fuck out of her. And instead of him going off the deep end, they said, no, your time will come. We'll find you a bitch that looks just like her. And they did. And then Mike Hill, for him to be commentating with Mike Hill, who just got a thing with Cynthia, it's just like everything is reality. Everything is reality based. When there's a million people out there, you know what I mean, that could be dating and living life. I told you, I said that to you guys before. And then you want to be with a man who married in North Carolina where they got that alienation law. Why would you do that when it's a man down in Wisconsin? Just don't love you the same way. Shawnee want to be with a pastor that's got all this gay stuff around him and the things. Why would you want to marry a man like that when it's a nice man in Abu Dhabi? My predictions my predictions on the movie is probably going to do well. People who like Will Smith don't care. People who like Will Smith probably don't like Chris Rock. And I'm going to go on and say that don't nobody really care for Chris Rock so passionately that, oh, that Will Smith, and if they are, they white people. And most things that Will Smith do ain't really geared. You know, he do it for us. He do it for the culture. Bad Boys, even what you call it, I Am Legend. That was a black experience. You know what I mean? Obviously, the movie he got the Oscar for, the black experience. Muhammad Ali, fucking Pursuit of Happiness, dating a black woman. Now, we're not getting into Jada, but she is black, okay? Marrying a black woman. That, you know, all those things. Will does it for the culture. Will is what Oprah is for the culture. And I think just now, they just needed something for him to, because what is emancipation? What is the emancipation by definition with what he just went through with the whole Chris Rock thing and all this back and forth of losing this and doing this and doing this and doing, you know what I mean? Now this movie that he's coming up with from out of nowhere, when he was supposed to have lost all these movie deals because he slapped Chris Rock. Just slapped, he didn't punch him, he didn't knock him down. He got training from being in Ali. He was actively training to fight like a fighter. He could knock Chris' top off. And I don't think people address that enough. How fake and staged it was. And then for him to get on there with Trevor Noah, which he's probably comfortable. He's probably just comfortable talking to Trevor Noah. And this is like Trevor Noah's, you know, big farewell interview. You know, that sort of thing. Timing. Because Will could have been done all this, you know. But now we're talking about a movie called Emancipation. But what your kids about to do? What your kids about to do? What the hell is Jade about to do? Is y'all gonna get divorced? Because I just feel that coming. I don't think it's out yet. Yeah. I'm reading y'all comments. I was running my mouth. We got the people in here. Anybody saying hi? Y'all don't want me to say y'all names. I don't understand. Portia ain't that man ain't leaving. That man not leaving her. If he do, Laura, imagine Portia inheriting all that money. But she not leaving that man. It's not a matter of it lasting. Now, I don't think anything like that 2-day experience, all these fucking pictures, all that money spent, and not on Bravo's dollar, is like, will it last? If Cordell would have been the man Portia wanted Cordell to be, they would still be together. And that's what I'm saying. Portia been a part of this whole thing, and everybody has their moments and their time. Portia being from Atlanta, if Candy knew about Dennis, Portia knew about Dennis. Portia to be ready and have a kid with Dennis is fine. He don't got no other kids, and she don't have no other kids, and you know, he just wanted the kids, so he benefits from just having a daughter with the girl who don't have no other things, and then she's gonna be busy, and I don't have to worry about baby mama drama because she don't care about who the fuck I fuck after that. Just probably don't have her around my daughter. That's down home Atlanta hood shit. But for Portia to continue to further this African savior, the narrative that they've been pushing on the housewives for years, and then the whole Benin culture, country influence, like I told you, is like, which goes back to Kenya's Kamora Lee Simmons when she married Jamin, who's Benin. But over there in the whole ceremony, that's like all of that, like she just don't drop that. She just don't drop that. He just don't drop that. He just don't drop her. I would like to know if he married whatever that girl's name is, did they have the same type of ceremony and do all those things? Not to that level, but that level of dedication that Portia put in to making that man feel, believe, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Inviting family from London, China, France, New Mexico, Istanbul, that sort of thing. 7 different dresses. You know what I mean? Affecting the culture, the food, and this and that, and the things and the things. Did the other girl do those things? Or was he just biding his time until he had his opportunity with Portia, who was always, I mean, they didn't meet that day that she was down in the water with them. That wasn't the first time Portia met that man. That wasn't the first time Portia had engaged with that girl or even knew who that girl was. Portia from Atlanta. Portia know everybody. If you from Atlanta, you know everybody, especially if you are somebody. What they doing? That's the question. How long it's gonna last? It's gonna last, no doubt. Good hair bull, right? Chris will sell out. Chris been a sellout. Always been. Always been. Best thing he ever did was Everybody Hates Chris. And that's only because the people in it. So they just casted that right. This water good. Oh, I'm running my mouth. It still ain't from the geyser. I'm sure it's going to be a good movie. Will Smith don't got no bad movies. What's a bad Will Smith movie, y'all? Tell me. Will Smith don't got no bad movies. I did try to watch Enemy of the State or whatever that one where he was gay. I really couldn't get into that. But that was the early days. You know, he had Fresh Prince and, you know, people. And I really didn't get into Fresh Prince either. I mean, I did, but I wasn't like the show for me. But, but Will Smith don't got no bad movies. Dennis. Okay. What's all like? Question. Sorry, the glasses is fake. Gemini. I liked the Gemini because it's an action movie with good graphics. A movie that he, you know, hadn't done. I mean, I Am Legend was not like that. I'm defending the movie, 1, because it's a Gemini and I'm Gemini, and 2, because I just don't think it was a terrible movie. Because if you like action and graphic, it delivered. Probably the plot, but it's like that's the thing, and it's like I keep going, line myself up, grab some young fans. It's definitely like for the younger demographic. But yes, that's something else. 6 Degrees of Separation. Yeah, 6 Degrees of Separation. I tried to watch that. The only scene I was looking for when he was shagging that man. Other than that, I couldn't get into that. I don't know what I was doing. Probably looking up other shit. So I really wasn't 100% focused on it. But it didn't grab me. I watched a movie on the Unabomber last night as I ate my chicken wings. And that wasn't a terrible movie. Interesting story of the Unabomber. They just played him like he was crazy. But he was saying something. You know? You can't go wrong with not Hitchcock. Because that's two different movies, Natasha. Y'all have been clowning on here today. So that's 3 movies you like. And I like all those 3 too. Thank you, Liv. You know, I started this whole channel with glasses. That's where What's the Re comes from. And I think that looked nice with my hair. It was natural. And once I went, I just need different glasses. Once I permed my hair, it just wasn't given the same way. But that's a personal story. The white lady in that, because I think, was it not Blythe Danner, because that's what you call his mother. Who's that, the white lady? I think I can picture her. Hancock is the superhero movie. That's why I thought you putting them together. And Hitched is Will Eva Mendes. Yes, Hitchcock. You don't put the movies together. Cheryl Lazenberry. Hello in Georgia. What's going on, Stockard Channing? That's exactly right. Hello in Georgia. We're just running on out talking about a couple things. So yeah, the Will Smith don't got no bad movies. He all he got is a bad wife and some crazy kids. But he is like, I mean, that's just a talent pushed, found and pushed. He turned rapping. He's turned this rapping into this one of the highest paid black actors in Hollywood. You know what I'm saying? Like from that to this. Who's to say he wants to do this? You know what I mean? Like, you know, I mean, that goes back to what I was saying earlier, but, you know, so to be in this situation, but I mean, that just, I mean, nobody should stop, but it's like, okay, let's make sure my husband's good. Let's make sure my father's good. Willow went on tour. Jaden's selling water. Fucking Cherie is on TV. And Jada is still trying to get, she banking on people coming to the show because of things like that. You know what I mean? Like, all on the back of Will Smith. When all he probably wants to do at this point, probably should live a life like Denzel. And didn't he make a joke to Denzel at the Oscars? The Oscars has so many other Easter eggs, as they call it, that they do, that it was overshadowed. Most of the funniest moments and most of the most interesting moments were overshadowed by that slap. When Will Smith is, how tall is Will Smith? Will Smith 6'3". You know, Google first of all, who was in charge of Google? The same people in charge of Wikipedia? Will Smith. Because they just be updating stuff, okay? .6'2". Will Smith, easily 200 pounds. 220, probably. But I'd say about 220. Will Smith, because I'm 200 pounds. Chris Rock. Now, you know, Chris Rock been acting all his life now. Chris Rock 5'10". You don't think if what you call it would have slapped him like I'm gonna slap you? Don't think Chris Rock would have fell down to that ground? Chris Rock ain't never acted, ain't never prepared, ain't never fought, ain't did nothing but run his mouth on the stage, scripted lines. Will Smith be out here preparing for movies like Gemini, preparing for movies like Malcolm X, aggressive like he was in whatever, I don't know what that movie is about, Serena Williams or whatever. You don't think he pissed he get up there and slap that man? You don't think that man gonna fall down to the ground? Instead of, which Will Smith and Jazzy Jeff been doing since the 90s. Psh. What's the first ceremony to be produced by a black director? Overshadowed. By Will Smith, no less, who won an Oscar that night, no less. You know what I mean? Like, there's so much more. Period. There was so much more going on at that actual show. There are jokes with Amy Schumer and Regina Hall and things like the jokes and Wanda Sykes and stuff like that. Those jokes up there, they were like, it was like solid, you know, jokage going on. Like it was like they were really making points and making funnies, and it was really something. The black director, and then you take the most successful black man, opposed of like Denzel Washington in Hollywood, and like I said, he made some type of joke to Denzel that night too. But Denzel is like, you know, Denzel will never let you act the movie. Denzel probably acts. Denzel was on Broadway, wasn't he? That slap was. What's worse than stage? Oh, I called it dinner theater. That's what I called it. It's no way in the world. They've both been in white rooms. Chris Rock more than Will Smith. But they both been in white rooms because Chris was raised white. But they both been in white rooms. It's no way in the world Chris that mad. I mean, Will that mad. He don't love Jada that much. Will that mad that, and if he do, it's all some type of spell that she put on him. Will that mad that he get up there in front of all those, with Robert De Niro, Lupita Nyong'o, fucking Beyonce, get up there and show his ass like that. Denzel probably a soft, beautiful Broadway actor. They said you're gonna play these rough, tough guy things. And as long as you do that, you get the black people in the thing. Black people run out and support a Denzel Washington movie. You know we do. We love Denzel. Okay? But Denzel, his characters, and that's the thing about it, his characters don't waver. Too different from Training Day. Yeah, he was big and loud. But that ain't no different than what he was in American Gangster. The name is Blue something. That's a brand name. Deja Vu ain't no different than Man on Fire. Eli is all of them. Equalizer, same thing. Am I wrong? I don't think so. Let me tell you, first of all, they said it's not healthy to drink a gallon. You don't need a gallon of water every day. And that's in our DNA, okay? And Will Smith had that kind of mama. He had that kind of father. Is what Will Smith had. I watched his sit down with Larry King, which was very good. And yeah. But they not letting Denzel be soft, and they're letting, and they keep pushing. Well, I guess they keep pushing both of them to be aggressive, because Denzel don't do nothing. When he's sitting up at the thing, he barely want to be at the function, right? Maybe Pauletta's more involved, or is that Pauletta, or is that Samuel's? Samuel just a shucking and a jiving too. Samuel been in about 1,459 motherfucking movies, okay? And that's no reason you need to be in all them movies. Because Denzel don't need to be. He ain't in all those movies. And Will ain't been in all those movies. And fucking Lupita Nyong'o ain't been in all these movies. And Jamie Foxx ain't been in all. But why you out here in all these damn movies? You the token nigga. I can't stand Samuel Jackson. And you know what drew that home for me? Lakeview Terrace, and that put the nail in that put the nail in every corner of the coffin, and that's a movie. Lakeview Terrace sealed that deal so tightly for me. I didn't like him before because I remember, and I was so it's such a gratifying thing. Now, I don't provoke violence. I don't condone violence. Sometimes it's necessary. But when that shark jumped up out that hole in Deep Blue Sea, I had never seen a more satisfying scene. Dreamgirls? Was that Ray? Was that before or after Ray? Actually, I think he shot Ray before they did Dreamgirls. Christopher Julius Rock. When I first saw you. But even still, Dreamgirls wasn't a, that was, it was stage play theater. You know what I mean? That wasn't like a... Girl, I will tussle to the end. I'll push you in that water like that shark gets you. I can't get to Samuel L. Jackson. Just a motherfucker, and that's just what he is. He plays motherfuckers in movies. That's just what he does. He's not very dynamic in his roles either. Eddie was acting. Eddie had a character to play. Jamie was just... I don't think Jamie Foxx is like him, but it really wasn't too much. Eddie, there was a character arc. and lots of personality and Jimmy Early. What about Eddie Murphy? Should I do Eddie Murphy? Well, you know, and Eddie Murphy likes the girls. Free indeed. Wait. Free indeed. You ain't been following me this whole time. Oh, you shared the live. I don't know. I didn't read it all the way through. Thank you for the share, sugar. I thought it said you followed the people. I was like, man, you've been up in here. Ain't even in here. But now you in here for sure. Ain't nobody did it like Jimmy Early, okay? Ain't nobody ever. Well, maybe Nino, but ain't nobody ever did it. He might have did it better than Jimmy Early, but ain't nobody did it like Jimmy Early. Dreamgirls is just a good movie altogether. I mean, it's with some really good heavy hitters, and it wasn't even like they carried Beyonce. It was just a lot of heavy hitters. Also, too, people will be overlooking people like Anika Noni Rose. She's on the Academy. She's the person who makes the decisions, who's getting voted and things like that for the Academy. So you can't overlook her. You know what I mean? People overlook her. Yeah, Laurel loves Jimmy, and I played this small role between these big two powerhouses. But honey, I probably decided who the fuck was going to be in the movie. And I helped make the decision that Jennifer was even going to be considered for the Oscar. Anika Noni Rose. I forgot Beyonce was in the movie. Not Onika. That's Nicki Minaj. Anika. Anika. The very reason why she got that, Tiana. And we like, oh, we're just happy to have a black princess. Well, you know, they could have given a black princess to Kelly fucking Rowland. Tiana would have been singing all over that place. Almost there. She would have had some soul, you know. That's the thing. Don't give us too much. Don't give us too much. Give us the shortest month of the year. Overshadow us with fuck shit when we do accomplish something. Not that we get to accomplish it, but that's the fact that we're accomplishing it. And in the spirit of support and love, and support and love. Not all these, oh my God, our first black person was like, okay, good job. I don't want to say good job, nigga, but you know what I mean? That sort of thing. But, and then Onika, O-N-I-K-A. So it's just a difference in one letter, I think. Either way, we right now. But Jamie Foxx, no, you said Eddie Murphy. You know, like Eddie Murphy liked the girls. And maybe I'll do a deep dive on Eddie Murphy. Let me write him down. He's involved, you know, once he had that daughter with Melanie B, I said, we're really dealing with something here now. Her having that relationship with the Gordys. She's got Gordy children. And then to have a kid with a comedic legend, like who the hell is Mel B? You know? That's like Nivea or is that Lauren London? Got Kids by the Dream and Wayne? Or is that Nivea? It might have been. I don't know. Is he even dating anybody now? I don't know. I'm gonna give y'all Eddie Murphy's story. I just go hold down the whole line of Dreamgirls. I already did. I already did Beyonce. I already did. She has her baby father's a Gordy. We got our black legends mixed up. I think I'm pretty sure it's a Gordy. Let me check because I don't like to be wrong. Melanie B. What the B stand for? Brown. Real different. Oh no. You're right. Oh no. Yep. I was wrong. Madison Brown Belafonte She's with the Roy McAfee now. Melanie Janine Brown. Why don't I talk about who her man was? Jerry. Oh yeah, Stephen Belafonte. Why did I thought he was a Gordy? You right. My sincerest apologies. Stephen Belafonte. I got that up on my thing too, just wrong. Melanie and the Gordys. Just loud and wrong. They only got one kid together. Giselle Belafonte. Yeah, they only got one kid together. She got this Angel Iris Murphy Brown. She didn't put her kids' names on these. She got 3 baby daddies. There's this Phoenix Chi Gulzar. Jimmy Gulzar. Jimmy got soul. He's a dancer. Like Ohani Noah. No. Like Chris. Was his last name North? That's big. Chris Martin. Chris. What's Chris' last name? Eddie did deny that child at first, and now he paid like $75,000, $750,000 a month for that child, or some shit like that. They out here with these dancers. J-Lo said the dancers got good dick. And I believe it. She got 3 baby daddies. And I kind of hate that for her. No shade. I'm just saying. Because why? Why you only had 1 kid with the Belafonte boy? Why you do that? Villa Loves Pink, thank you for the share, show. The DAC. What did I say? What happened to the things? Genre, what happened? Where'd she go? Hey, hot cousin. That's what they're checking on your things. Thanks. Jimmy Gulzar. I have to look at this Jimmy. Yeah, Angel Iris Murphy. Mel B, 47 years old. Oh. Mel B only 47. She's a Gemini too. Why are they just putting the numbers here now? See, you should just be switching up on the Googler. I've been on Google more in 2023 than I ever have in the past 30 years. And I know somebody watching. I know somebody's watching. Either way. See, now I'm going to get into these people. I'm not going to do that right now. We're sitting here talking. But what am I saying? Eddie Murphy. Very exciting life. How she get with damn Stephen Belafonte to this dancer and then end up with Eddie Murphy, I'll never know. Bathing in herbs, welcome. Thank you. I don't know how she ended up with the two lights in the dark. I don't know how she ended up with the youngs. Stephen Belafonte is 47, they the same age. Probably Social Security. So you got to have your own investments. And they don't care, you know, Social Security affects everybody. And I'm not even going to say it from a racial standpoint, but if you don't have your own investments, if you never taught to have your own investments, then you will definitely lose out. Jimmy Gulzar, they don't have no age for him. He's 47 too. Eddie Murphy got to be about 60. Is it EDDY? EDDIE. Eddie Murphy got more bad movies than Will Smith. Yeah, Eddie Murphy's 61. I don't know how she did that. You know, I mean, you just banking on the check because the dancer don't got no money. The Belafonte, he was very controlling. I would think you want to get one. So she got beat up by Belafonte. Then she got swooned over by the dancer, and then she got, I don't know, a bag from Murphy. So I just don't know how she did the thing she did, but she's got this sweet gig on America's Got Talent. Not in the music too. Well, you said it, not me. But do Eddie Murphy got bad movies as I look at this? Cause Shrek. Eddie Murphy has really classic movies, but that's the thing. He is the comedian that was able to carry these movies through. Actually, Eddie Murphy really do got decent movies. They probably the same quality as, but see, Will Smith don't have no franchise films like Eddie Murphy do. Now Will Smith don't have no franchise films. Beverly Hills Cop, Coming to America, Shrek, Nutty Professor, Dr. Dolittle. They could have did a life after. Beverly Hills, obviously. Either way, but that's the thing, they're not supposed to be the same, you know, whatever. So that's that with that. But I don't know how she ended up with that man. To secure his sexuality? Yeah, I definitely got love for Eddie. I thought that's what you meant. Definitely got look. I mean, I fucking grew up with Eddie Murphy now. I mean, I grew up with both of them. How old is Will Smith? I know he ordered in 47. I was just there. Yeah, Will Smith 54. We said it at the same time. We said things at the same time. Yeah, I think, yeah, that might be that. And then, you know, she's just up for it. She's been conditioned, but why her? I mean, we don't hear about nobody else. But I think she wants the fame. She probably wants to be more famous. Back to the worldwide notoriety, I'm sure she was more electrified, energized by it than the other girls. At least Posh Spice. Not Posh. Sporty Spice. And when Ellen says she has sex with a Spice Girl, I'm assuming it's Sporty Spice. Or Baby Spice. Or hell, it could be Mel B. So I don't know. But you don't hear much about her. You don't hear much about Baby. The couple this and that's from Jerry over the years. And Posh dropped that whole life, you know, and moved on to a whole new thing. Meanwhile, and that's why I said, like, much like the Kardashians, everybody has a place, and a space, and the things, and who knows what the hell those other girls are doing behind the scenes. Yeah, that's Posh with the backup. But meanwhile, we got this, and then we have that, and then we have Mel B in the middle, getting abused, dating dancers, fucking on Eddie Murphy, and then she's got this, you know, she's in front of the TV, everybody's TV every Thursday, whatever show night that show comes on, and you know what I'm saying, she has this likability and stuff like that. The looks and the whatever, you know. I'm sure they getting good money on, and ain't everybody get paid good on shows Simon Cowell got. I never hear anybody talk about the pay was bad on American Idol or America's Got Talent. So if they're collecting the checks, when you don't got to work, I don't know if Belafonte paying too much. And the dancer, well, that's what she had until. How old is that daughter? I can't keep going back and forth. But, you know, it's just interesting that's what she's doing. Meanwhile, you know, fucking Posh started the whole family. I don't know what any of them got going on besides Posh. At the same time, too, people never really cared about any of. I mean, everybody had their fans, right? But nobody wasn't about to be keeping up with Sporty Spice. Didn't nobody like that. She was just another spice in the cabinet. Baby Spice, after she dropped the pigtails and the skirts, didn't nobody recognize her. I think Jerry came for a couple things, tried to do a couple things, get involved in a couple things. But that's the thing, you got to have the fight, you got to have the grit, you know? Like Posh, like Mel B. Posh said, listen, I'm going to find me a man. Okay? I'm going to find me a successful man. Okay? I'm sick on them, and I'm going to do the things you need to do. Then I'm going to make this successful myself and walk around with $250,000 Birkin bags like it's nothing. And then create the fashion brand Victoria Beckham, which people are extremely passionate about Victoria Beckham's clothing. And now she's in, you know what I mean? And Mel B said, listen, I'll do anything I got to do what y'all want. I'll do anything y'all want me to do to get what I want. And that's good hair, a good gig, and a sweet life. Whatever the hell Belafonte was doing to her. If I can call my girls and go on a whirlwind trip, if I never have to worry about going back to Berkshire or wherever she's from, London, I don't know. You know, that sort of thing. Yeah, I'm all for that. And that's what the thing, like I said too, most times things come back, the 4th hour or the 15th hour of the live usually can be traced right back to some points I made in the beginning, because all of this shit is really, it's all in the same formula. It's all the same formula. And that's just where we are, because that's the entertainment. The Belafonte name opened doors. I mean, collectively, I think. I don't really know. It depends on what type of door she's talking to, because you know, some people can't stand a Belafonte, and some people don't know what the hell a spice is. You know, so it depends on what type of doors. But I think in music, but that's the thing, she wasn't doing anything in music. Nobody wasn't putting out no albums or things like that. Let me see. She wasn't. I mean, and even if she did, they weren't. It wasn't no big deal. This thing says movies and TVs. Don't say nothing about music. She was in a Seat Filler, X Factor Australia. That was in 2010 to 2016. She's been on America's Got Talent since 2006. She was on UK X Factor from 2004 to 2018. The people are using her. But she's good at what she does because the people enjoy her. So that's priceless. And she, first of all, the whole thing is if you can hold water. If you can hold water and encourage people to watch you, you in like Flint. Hey, Mrs. F. Andy and Mrs. Fandy. You in like Flint, right? So that's just what she did. Well, that's what it should get started on that, and that's what she was doing. She was in the Seat Filler in 2004, X Factors in Australia for 6 years, in 2010 from 2016, and this is all overlapping. From in Australia, like she's jet setting, okay? She's been on America's Got Talent since 2006. She was on X Factor UK first in 2004. That went to 2018. Then she was on X Factor Australia from 2010 to 2016. And that's the thing, she knows how to play the game. And that's what I'm saying about black people who get around these white, or, you know, are in these white situations, know how to acclimate and entertain. Mrs. Fandy, we're talking about Eddie Murphy and his wheelings and dealings, and by proxy, Mel B, and how she's done the things she's done. I've been on for 3 hours now. 3.5 hours now. A whole hour done went by last time I checked. And we're just running down. Where did it start? The slap, Will Smith. Do you have a topic? Did you watch a Wendy Williams video? Did you watch one of my videos? What you think? You got something to say? Let me know. That's how we do over here. You know, it's a safe space at the Kelly Collective. Drop down in the comments. Let me know what's on your mind, what you want me to say, what you want to hear from me. Always. It's a family over here. A vibe. Okay. So that's what it was with Mel's ass. In the beginning, these kids. I mean, I don't know, Helen Berry. Let me see if they're gonna tell me how much she getting in child support. It is sad, right? It's just very sad. Child support. Eddie Murphy ordered to pay $35,000 in monthly child support to Mel B. Well, that's because she was like the 17th kid or whatever, and this was just this year. $35,000 a month ain't a lot for Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy paying $35,000 a day. I know Shrek and the fucking Nutty Professor bringing in some money. I think she got a raise. Well, that's what I just seen here. I was expecting something from older, because the daughter is older. This is from October. All of this was from October. 35,000 is sweet. And that's 31,000 euros. Oh no, this is what you said. See, she's trying to come back in again. Let me see what. So she's paying 54. No, wait a minute. Eddie Murphy ordered to pay $54,000 in monthly child support. You got to keep reading. Even still, that's nothing for Eddie Murphy. Between Shrek and that's the thing too, the money got to go out. 15. Listen, I mean, you tied to me forever, and you're gonna get to using. I mean, if you end up doing your own thing or whatever, but as a good parent, I think you'd be guiding. We get the lawyers and the things and the things and the things. Influence your decisions, reflect bad on me, reflect on me, period, whatever, things like that. 50 Cent, he just, I don't know, to some degree, like I said, too, him perform, and y'all notice everybody at the Super Bowl this year performed something, is doing something this year. But we're moving on. I told you I wasn't going to speak about that Super Bowl again. But as embarrassing as it was for him, as a successful businessman and producer at this point in his career, to drop down from that damn rafters and do go shorty, it's your birthday after 20 something years of not doing nothing like that, it's embarrassing. And for him to be so successful in the room adjacent to the table, for him to go through these troubles of his child troubles, When you know, I have the conversation of all these celebrities have to go through these things with their dads, or their dads are non-existent. To paint him as this type of person, whether he is it or not, I'm not exactly sure. Nobody knows exactly sure. And if he says otherwise, he looks at the bad father because he's not acknowledging what the fuck his son is saying. But there's nothing that's going on between 50 Cent and his sons, kids, whatever, that he can't have a dinner at the Four Seasons, at the house, catered by Chef Gordon Ramsay or Wolfgang Puck, and alleviate, kill all that shit. I'll put you in a movie. I'll give you a record contract. I'll send you to Wilhelmina Miles. I'll do whatever I got to do to make you shut the fuck up and work this thing out. Like a big, beautiful bat. Work this thing out. Like this constant, I had to reach out to so-and-so. You look crazy. The child looks crazy. Going to these extents. And I'm saying, yeah, the kids, because we're not dealing with normal kids. This is not no type of thing. If 50 didn't want them involved in nothing, they would not be in a position to be involved in something. They'd be preoccupied. They'd be silenced. They'd be this, because daddy over here doing the things. The kids are grown. Daddy is over here doing the things. Like I said, you want to get in the show, I'll put you in the show. You want to go to a show, I'll take you to the show. Because 50 Cent can do that now. Ever since he made his amends with the way the industry goes, and he sat down and prostrated himself in front of Oprah, the doors began to open up for 50 Cent. But still, he has to be this type of father to his black children. Because that's the narrative for black people. What did Austin Powers say? Daddy wasn't there to take me to the fair to change my underwear. I love Austin Powers, but I'm just so unnerved by all those types of things happening. And I'm not, and you know what? I'm not saying that, because there was the guy who does he has the blog, he has the podcast or whatever. He's 25, and he was saying how he wanted to stop saying that these experiences when I was young affect whatever, because he's too old to think like that, which I thought was aloof for him to say that. Because, and then the girl he was on the podcast, the girl whose podcast it was, she asked, who said that? Like, who are you comparing your experience and your feelings to, that you feel like you can't feel this way? So I'm not saying that because the kids are grown and things like that they can't try to find some resolve or some respect or some type of recognition from their father. But there's ways to go about it. I don't need to call A$AP Rocky. I don't need to call the Shade Room. Those don't do it. And when my father is at this level, simply the threat alone should say, I'm calling TD Jakes over at TSR and I'm going to get on the line. And he says, okay, I'll fly you down. Okay, I'll meet you there. You know what I'm saying? So that this type of thing doesn't happen, because it don't happen. It don't have to happen that way. It don't have to happen that way. And Lord knows with the way they drag these dads, what the hell is Nick Cannon signing himself up for? And Nick Cannon just trying to live. He's just trying to finish out his term in a healthy way, and affect. Look, we on the same thing. And affect affect science in some way. Everything, Chris, in my opinion, I have to take a couple hours and get into that too. That's been on my list to get into what Nick Cannon is doing with these umbilical cords. But everything he's doing is going to affect science. It's the long-standing thing of, Mariah Carey making $3 million a year from a song she made 30 years ago, and Nick Cannon is, long since been in the game, and has benefited many people's bottom lines and continues to do so. So now I'll level up in another way. I'll do this thing a little different, and I'll do these things. And the thing is with Nick Cannon, just like a fucking Birkin bag, if you can do it, you can do it. Nick Cannon got money just like Kelsey Grammer. Don't sign no. I think he said this, or somebody made the correlate or whatever. Don't sign no prenups with these women. Kelsey Grammer got 4 ex-wives. Kelsey Grammer's got 15 shows, if not more. Every wife gets a show. I could pay alimony. I can afford it. Nick Cannon got 15 streams of income. He can have 100 kids. He can afford it. So I don't even care about that. And then, commitment, and that's the societal construct that girls need to be committed. But Nick Cannon said to this woman, like I said, he does this he gives the due process on these women. He's just not fucking nobody. I'm gonna pay you child support, and I'm gonna pay you. Okay. Don't go out. You can be like Neo did. And nobody talks about that. No, you can't have kids with nobody else. But do you need any more kids when you got the one kid that's paying you all these things? No. And if I need more kids, I'll come to you and we'll work the things out. Okay. $50,000 immediately transferred to the account. $150,000 immediately transferred to the account. $200,000 immediately transferred to the account once the kid is born. I'm good. I'm not looking for a savior. I don't need him to walk me down the aisle. I don't want to meet his mother. And maybe she wants that. And I think as a human experience, she wants the companionship and things like that. Listen. The price to pay. And if I just want to go out, if I want to gather my girls and go on a trip, all expenses paid by me. If I want to go to Neiman's or Bergdorf's or go to the showroom, because I'm going to drop the Nick Cannon name and get me a nice little something. If I'm going to be at the BET after party, hey AJ, you know, I don't know. This water right now, I don't know what's for dinner. I'm not prepared, y'all. But so I didn't plan on. I don't know what I planned on doing. I'm flying by the seat of my because I didn't take nothing out. But if I can go to the BET after party, and if I can go to the Boom Boom Room in New York and things like that, that's all girls want to do. I'm sorry. People are that simple. Men are that simple. Women are that simple. Especially when you take away whatever type of influences, like I said earlier, the people over in the East Coast, on the Eastern Hemisphere, that work in these factories and produce these American beloved products, they don't need a high-rise soft floor marble top, but they don't need all of that. Ain't none of them complaining. Can't complain. You want to know why you complain? Not only is you going to keep that kid, you be responsible for a kid, but I'm sure, you know, like I said too, that's his due diligence. He's with women that at the very least are loving and compassionate. At the very least. Because you're not raising my kid in a hateful, spiteful, that sort of thing. How he does that, I don't know. But there are girls like that. You know, Shawnee and Jennifer and the things. You know, there's girls out there like that. So that's the process. That's some of the requirements. I'm assuming. I don't know Nick, and I can't name one of these wives except these are baby mamas except Mariah Carey. But even Mariah Carey, yeah, she was with the billionaire. That was just literally something to do. Probably something that was so forced on her to even engage in. For what? I don't know. Probably that businessman's bottom line. And he ended up paying her $300 million or $3 million or something like that for her time. Got 2 of Nick Cannon's kids, the first 2 of Nick Cannon's kids. She not out here dating no man, acting crazy, living a life. Give me my 3 floors in New York, a closet the size of a standard 2-bedroom apartment. You know what I mean? I'm going to show up to the things, I'm going to sing these songs. Simple. Patty's going to come over and cook. Love is the detriment. Love and the huge family and that society thing is the detriment to a lot of people. Lots of conversations, women are saying, if I didn't have my kids, I would. My kids did the girl. Nobody told you had kids. Men too, you know, fathers who are there, whatever, you know, especially present fathers, single fathers, stuff like that. It goes both ways. But you get into these families, and that's, yeah. You get into these families, and now it's leverage and stuff. Well, listen, Nick said, all you got to do is care for these kids, make sure that they're healthy. I'm sending food. I'm giving you enough money to give them, and I'm sure maybe you got the diet plans. These are things we never know. These are things you sign in the NDA. The second, before they even have sex, before they even see his penis, NDA is signed. The very second. We not talk about meal plans. They might get to know what school they go to. Imagine that these celebrity schools, like the schools like Blue Ivy and North go to. You know what I mean? The type of kids, I think they go to the same school. But, I don't know. But, the type of kids that go there. And you think everybody got to be famous. No, because even out here where I live, people live in beautiful homes. Okay? Whoopi Goldberg did live out here. That might be an indicator where I live. Whoopi Goldberg did live out here. So you, but you, I said this, you don't know who the hell, and no, you don't know. You don't know who the hell the people are that live in these grand homes on the lake. It's people whose parents is in a situationship, and they ain't worried about conventional love. Frankie, don't tell me I look familiar. You my girl. He named those kids the children non-traditional names and outlined how the children will be raised. It's all control. I mean, it's all control. What's up, sugar? So happy you came in. Thank you for the follow. It's all. He's in complete control. His father was a televangelist. I don't know no televangelist. I don't know nobody on TV that's not in complete control. That's what I said too about Wendy Williams and that man. Is the Wendy not in business with her husband? Managed. She's not in business with Kelvin. Managed by Kelvin. Go to work every day with Kelvin, and don't know what that man is doing outside 5 o'clock. She know what that man is doing every minute of the day, because every minute of the day when you run into business, there's a level of communication that you need to have with the person that you're in business with. Because you didn't talk to somebody, I didn't talk to somebody, I didn't had an idea, we didn't got a call, you know what I'm saying, things like that. When Kevin gone from 6 to 2, she know where Kevin is. Just answer my call. It's no way in the world she did shit. She knew. Wendy been knew about Sharina for 10 years. She had known about Sharina for 10 years. It's 14 years now, 15. It's no way in the world she didn't know who that man was in a committed relationship. He wasn't out there philandering. He was in a committed relationship with someone else. Not enough out of her and dumped her. Like I said, Mrs. Sandy. Like I said in a live before, we're in the age of information and evolution and Blue Ivy era. Because Blue Ivy turned 10 this year, and then numerology, something like numerology and the stars and the things like that. Blue Ivy turned 10 this year. 2 is the number of new beginnings. When you look at Blue Ivy sitting at a basketball game or looking very professional, and she's Beyonce's manager, you know, those types of stories and those types of things come out. That just kind of sets the tone. Lots of older people are dying. Lots of money is exchanging, and you know what I mean. Those types of things. What will not Kevin Machiavelli? I don't think it was that deep, but yeah, I think more so. If anything, he was just a handler. I don't think which kind is a little bit of the Machiavellian thing, but he was placed to do a job, and he did that. He did it. There was no further that they could go. Like, so this is right here. 100% intentional. When the good Lord calls Wendy in his time or anybody else's time, what is Kevin Jr. going to do? because you don't see him too much. That's why I made the video primarily to show the people that he is there or had been there when things like that were going on, but now he's not. Like, what are the next steps? Will you fade into the abyss like your auntie, or will you get on the screen like your uncle? What happens next? And I say Wendy died at 58 because Kanye's mother died at 58 in November. I think she died November 10th. This is not the right notebook. Yes, it is. I think she died November 10th. And now I was just hoping and praying, and I'm glad it's not. I was hoping and praying that she wouldn't. But yeah, she died November 10th, 2000.